Yo, this your boy Carcino. In case you didn't know what video you clicked on when you clicked it, which you should have known. A lot of people was waiting on my response to the fights last night. I just took my time with it because I didn't want mine to get lost in the shuffle with 1,000 people throwing out videos now. It is so many people making boxing videos now. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. Actually, listening to other people's videos, it's pretty interesting. But here's what I thought. Now let's start from the first fight of the night, the Jonathan Banks and Seth Mitchell fight. Now a lot of people don't know that this Seth Mitchell fight was postponed. It was supposed to happen in July. And when the fight was supposed to happen in July, Emmanuel Stewart was healthy. You know, they already scouted and went over a game plan to fight Seth Mitchell, and he's seen Seth Mitchell's last performance, his last fight, and knew that Jonathan would have a chance to hurt him with something on a counter shot because Mitchell was very inexperienced, and this was going to be the fight to catapult him and give him the stardom and some light and the shine that he needed. So, to say Seth Mitchell was the favorite coming into this fight, you could because of the power, but I thought he would take him into deep waters and then, drown him. But that didn't happen. What happened was, you saw a guy who was a football player, who was an amateur, only had 10 fights. He was 9-1 as an amateur. Okay, but 9 of his fights were knockouts. The only fight that went the distance, he lost. So, now, he becomes a pro because his knee was no good and he wasn't good enough to go to the pros, and these knee injuries held him back. So no football, no criminal justice, in which he tried to get a job for. Boxing, he saw the Notre Dame fight on the Cotto Malignaggi card and saw that Tom Zabinski, whatever, the football lineman for Notre Dame, went out there and got a knockout over some bum and said, wow, man, he did it, so maybe I could squeeze into boxing. See, these type of things happen, and that's how these things get started, and a lot of these NFL players think it's all easy. But when you're not used to getting punched in the face, you don't know what to do when you're hurt, these type of situations can either grow a fighter or create such a doubt in the fighter that it lessens him. And we'll find out what kind of fighter Seth Mitchell is now, after surviving something like this. Well, he didn't survive it, but after going through something like this, will he survive? Because Witherspoon had him on shaky legs, where Banks was able to finish him. Now, let's move along to the big event, which is Adrian Broner and Antonio Demarco. Now, from the start of this, we have all told you what was going to happen to Demarco. Matchup-wise, style versus style, it takes nothing away, absolutely nothing away from Demarco. Demarco's good, but the point is, even though he's good, his style does not match up well against Adrian Broner. One, Adrian Broner is a welterweight. He has the frame of a welterweight. He's fighting at a lighter weight, so when he rehydrates, he's going to be bigger and stronger than you. So DeMarco's power advantage he used to have on his opponents is not going to be great, as it normally is against any other fighter. DeMarco does not move his head. We've told you this. So if you don't move your head and you stand right in front of Adrian Broner, you're going to be in trouble. And the fact he don't move side to side. He wasn't throwing his combinations and moving to the side because the punches were hurting him. So he was just standing there trying to absorb the punishment and then have some energy to come back with something. That's why his corner knew, like, hey, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're throwing 2 punches now and shelling up. because the punches were hurting him and having an effect. Adrian Broner paced himself well. He did great as far as picking his shots. I probably would have put a little bit more mustard on those uppercuts, but it was cool. You know, I felt he would have got him out of there early if he was putting some more mustard on them uppercuts. You know, he was just throwing them quick and getting back on defense, just pop shotting them. But he's not going to throw 3 and 4. He's going to throw 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Demarco needed Broner to throw 3 and 4 so he can find a spot where Broner would be open and land. But this isn't Linares. It's a whole different type of animal you're fighting. And he was outmatched, outgunned. You know, there was nothing. Broner was resting. He really didn't have a lot to get tired on because Demarco, we could stand right in front of Demarco and didn't have to move side to side. You know, he could just stand in the middle of the ring and rest because Demarco couldn't hit it. And to me, that was like a Mayweather-Pacquiao fight if all things were even. But it wound up being a Mayweather-Gotti fight. It's the same thing. Both fights in Atlantic City. Floyd landed 57% of his punches. You know, and that was his first pay-per-view. So it was a big shining achievement and moment for him. And this was Broner's first big fight. It's not his first pay-per-view, but it was his first big fight. You know, and he was impressive. Impressive enough to where the critics are now going to flip on him. He's more than what they are. They have been little toned down. Now they're going to overwhelm him to frustrate him because they know his talent level is very hard to beat. And when you have a fighter like that, you beat him in the press. They try to beat him with every little thing they do to get him to fight out of the way he fights so maybe he gets some loss. They don't like a dominant fighter. All of a sudden, Demarco was this great guy. He was this great champion, hard hitting. Now that Broner beat him, oh, well, we knew, bro. Brother Demarco, he gets hit a lot. He cuts a lot. He bleeds a lot. We knew that going into the fight. Well, when is he going to fight a guy that's... This is right after the fight. Same thing happened with Arturo Gotti, Floyd Mayweather. It's just a flashback. It always happens. Everything is a circle. Gotti was reborn. Buddy McGirt, he was the Freddie Roach at the time. He turned him into a boxer. Will he be able to outbox Floyd Mayweather now? No, he wasn't. They knew he wasn't going to be able to pull that off. But it was a possibility. Floyd never faced anybody as ferocious and hard-hitting as Arturo Gotti. Fight happens. Goes exactly the way Floyd said it was going to go. Now all of a sudden, well, Gotti's been in wars. Gotti was beaten down. Gotti was a broken man. See? Never giving credit to where it was due. Just saying Floyd is just a great fighter. Period. That's just all to it. Broner is going to be a great fighter. Period. Only things left is for him to keep doing what he's doing. And then he's going to reach that status. Because the talent level from where he's at and everyone else is a big gap in there. Huge. Now, if they can get Gamboa back on his feet, that will be the fight that they could put on pay-per-view, I think, that will propel him to the highest level that he can get to where they can't say anything. But congratulations to Broner. I'm out.